Hello, comrades! Welcome back to Ushanka Show. Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи. В эфире программа Ushanka Show. I'm your host, Sergey, and I was born in the USSR. Today we're gonna continue to follow our friends, our unhappy Soviet family, Nelly and her naughty husband, who are on a cruise across the northern Europe, and today they are traveling to Stockholm, Sweden. Her next diary entry is dating to October 20th, so the ship Estonia left the port of Leningrad at midnight, and all day on October 20th they were just crossing the Baltic Sea on the way to Stockholm. We were in the sea all day, got ourselves familiar with the ship, walked around on the deck, and met other tourists. It was slightly choppy, and the sea was just unbelievable. The color of water, color of waves, splashes, sun, birds, everything was just very impressive. Water was pure and clean like glass, but every day they dump a bunch of trash right out of the ship into the water. Next entry is October 21 to October 23, Stockholm. We arrived to Stockholm in the morning. Buses arrive at 10 a.m. Our guide is the immigrant lady. She is the widow of the enemy of the people. I wish Nelly would specify more, but they got a guide who could speak Russian, and she was the widow of the enemy of the people. So it will be interesting to find out more, of course. It's kind of interesting that Nelly actually wrote down what the lady was wearing, that she had a nice fur coat and a yellow hat and a yellow matching high heel shoes. She was about 60 and looked very good, spoke fluent Russian. Then they went on their excursion on the bus, and it's curious that she comments how neat everything. The grass is mowed, the bushes trimmed, the 2-3 story homes are neat and look really good. Trees everywhere. And it kind of brings my memories when I came to America. For some reason, like when I was even in Michigan, I mean, we're talking like middle of nowhere Michigan, I had this weird kind of feeling that like the stuff around here looks almost like not real, and I couldn't understand why. And that's because everything is so neat, like grass mowed, people keep it all neat and they trim their bushes. So after seeing shaggy grass and stuff like that, unkept bushes back home, it was just bizarre to see everything so neat. So I see what she's seeing. Then Nelly continues. A couple of words about Swedes. They work 6 hours a day. Everything is very expensive here, but they have large salaries. Store displays are amazing with the selection of goods they have. Town is neat and clean. Then she describes a skating rink next to the church and municipal building, and she noticed there's a lot of kids that dressed very bright and have a lot of, she said, negrityat, so small black children, all without any hats but wearing gloves, and little kids are wearing helmets. And then she continues that Swedes have very high level of life, высокий жизненный уровень, lower birth rates, the highest life expectancy is 72 years for men and 76 and a half for women. So I guess this guide lady was providing that information. She said they're kind of Swedes are very don't have a lot of emotions and very organized. Youth live separately from parents. They have lessons of sex, cosmetology, and housekeeping at schools. Sports are so popular that if some Swede drowns, it considers as the only way he can drown is to commit suicide. It's just funny. I find it bizarre reading her diary because she wrote personal diary, but it's pretty much almost like a journalist writing a report about visiting some other country. So it's very impressive. Then she continues, the gymnastics are very popular. They have a baby. The government pays them 1,000 kronas. When you have kids up to 16-year-old, you get additional 150 kronas per month. So all this information, she just sounds like she's very shocked. When you're pregnant, 6 months of pregnancy are paid, and father gets 2 weeks of paid vacation, and they got total of 4 to 5 weeks paid vacation. So she is from socialist country, but she got into the capitalist socialist Sweden, and she is very, very impressed. So they stayed in Stockholm for 3 days. So one of those days, maybe the last day, they had so-called free time. So they actually let them walk around town and explore. But they had to be at least 5 people in the group. So you couldn't just go by yourself. You should have a minimum of 5 people in the group. So then she continues, it's very bad not to know the language. We walk around like we are mute. There's so much of everything in the stores, and everything is so expensive, and we like beggars with our kopecks. So remember, everyone had $32 to spend for the whole trip. So they even didn't bother to walk inside of the stores. All we did just пялиться на витрины, so they all did just window shopping. And at 1 p.m. they were departing for Oslo. And she's writing that she just kind of said goodbye to the port, enjoyed the music on the deck, and at 6 p.m. they were going through some bay with many of little islands. They had rocky shores, and so along those islands you could see little homes, very neat looking one, and sometimes there's a small or big boats, and it looked very unusual because it's such a wilderness. You see forests, mountains, no trails, nothing, and suddenly there's a neat front yard and the house. Everything is so comfortable, everything is for people. Okay, so we're gonna stop here. So our next stop will be in Oslo, Norway, which they stay there for 3 days too, October 24th till October 27th. So that'll be our next video. But it's already interesting, like, it's similar what experience that I had in America. When you actually see it with your own eyes, not through TV and state propaganda, it definitely, it's hard on your eyes and it's hard on your brain, because it's just a totally different reality, not what you expected, not what you were programmed to. So she's already 2 days in Sweden, and she's already quite overwhelmed and impressed and surprised. So, yep, there's your Soviet person, first time ever beyond the borders. Well, I hope you enjoyed this diary readings. I'm enjoying it myself. I didn't read in advance, so it's kind of more fun for me to discover those things together with you guys. So it's a lot of fun. I said, especially, it really kind of same parallel kind of situation what I had experienced here in America when I arrived first time in 1995. All right, well, we'll be wrapping up our this video. We'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye. Hey, by the way, the cool merch for cool comrades is available at the Ushanka store at teespring.com. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet Union.